What's up, guys? Welcome to another video on Wood Vice. This time we're building a couch table, a table couch, a thing behind a couch, a thing smashed up against a wall between a couch and a wall. I don't know what it's called. It looks like this. This is what it looks like, final, finished. If you want to watch me build this, stay tuned. Let's get started. All right, this is Alder. Never worked with Alder before. It doesn't smell any different than any other wood that I've worked with though. So I guess that's good. This project is going to go behind a couch. It's about 10 feet long. So I'm gonna make two smaller pieces that fit through doors and in cars, easy to transport, that equal the 10 foot that I need, because that's the dimensions of the couch. So right here, I've got 6 pieces of alder. These are all 4 to 6 inches wide, and the top that I'm gonna do is about 8 to 8.5 inches wide. So that being said, some of these are gonna have to get jointed together with a glue line in the middle. So the first problem I need to solve is which boards are the top or the side or the back, and which ones do I glue up, and do I have enough right here? I hope I do. So let's start marking these up and then chopping them and jointing them and gluing them. All right, to mark on these boards, I'm gonna use my Pica pencil, but I'm gonna use this black here. Turns out the black is actually just a pencil. But perfect, let's use that. Okay, so I figured this out. These two will glue up, these two will glue up, these two will glue up, these two will glue up. So I need to do 4 glue ups right now just to have wider boards. This will get ripped down the center and have a solid 2.5 inches for that backing piece that you'll see later. And this one is actually wide enough, it'll be 6 inches for 2 of the legs, the side pieces. And then these will be the 2 other legs, obviously cut down. And then these will be obviously cut down to the 8.5 or 8 inch width final with the glue line in the middle. So I'm gonna get to cutting these rough and then jointing these 8 boards after they're cut and glue those up, and then it'll be done for the day. I have the 4 panel glue ups ready, jointed, and my, they look good. Okay, here's a pro tip on jointing that it took forever for me to figure out. Maybe you already know it. I believe Bourbon Moth, I learned this on one of his videos, is to mark one of these boards in and one out. And that's based on the side, so if there's more, it would be like another in right here, and an out there, and an in there, and an out there, and so on and so forth. And what that does is, if your fence is just out of square, even if it's like the tiniest little minute out of square, it will actually be like out of square right on one side and wrong on the other. Okay, so what I mean by in and out is, let me explain. So, out on this board here, in on this board. So I'm going to take it to the jointer. I know I want this edge jointed. So I swing this over, make sure that this is down on the jointer like I want it. It says out, so this is going to face out. So I'm going to run it along the jointer this way with this facing out. I'm going to put it over here, and then I'm going to pick up this board knowing that this is the edge that I want to joint. It says in, so I'm gonna swing it around and orient it to where that edge is still there, but it's facing in. So that word that I have written faces towards the fence, and run it along that way. So when it comes over here, like I said, these are opposite, and it is the best glue line. Man, this one's almost maybe it's the best one I've ever had. It's really what they all should. Maybe you should come over here. Come over here. Look at that glue line. Obviously this one's bowing up a little bit, but man, look at that glue line. It is just crazy. I don't toot my horn very often. Well, people that know me probably think that I do. Maybe I do. Anyway, let's get these glued up. Let's roll that beautiful time lapse. Okay, glue ups are done. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, it's the next morning. I spent some time taking these out of the clamps and running them through the planer. They're down to just over 3/4 inch thickness, which is great for me because that's all I need. And they turned out super well, super flat. This planer, I love this planer. It's the DeWalt 735X, which X doesn't matter. Anyway, it's the straight knives. So 3 straight knives, and I don't run a whole lot through it, but it pretty much seems like every single project I need to change the blades, which is crazy. I don't remember the cost of the blades. I think it's probably like 30 to 60 bucks for a set of 3. And usually each of that set has you can flip them around. So in this case, I actually ended up taking them off, flipping them to the new set. I believe that's the last set of blades that I have for that, so that's a bummer. But those are just costs of the shop. Anyway, it was like literally night and day. Crazy, like the speed of things feeding through and the finish on it. Oh my goodness, it's wild. Anyway, okay, on to the next thing. So I have these are a couple of legs that just need to be just barely shaved off the edge, and then those are good at about 6 inches. And then these are the other legs, which I need to figure out where I cut these down on the table saw and get all my pieces to the right length. So the tops, like I've mentioned, 8 to 8.5. I'll probably just do 8. The overhang on the couch is 2 inches, so then these will be 6 inches, making all of that just perfectly right in line. These are also over length, so I need to cut these down on the crosscut sled or miter gauge, and then the same with these. These are just a little over as well, but I'm going to get them width correctly, and then I'll go to the crosscut. So let's do that now. Since I used the straight edge to actually glue it up, I don't actually have one edge straight for the table saw yet, so I still need to run it through the jointer once on one side. And it looks like that one has a little bit in the middle. It's like a bow up. This side, same bow up, probably more, so I'm going to choose this side. And then I'll just mark which side I'm going to do that on all of them based on the flat reference. That one's not terrible. No rhyme or reason to which side is the top yet, because I can choose that later. It won't matter. These are not really cut down, but they do have the straight edge. I probably will, yeah, and that's pretty good. I don't know if you can see that is pretty flat all the way across, at least based on these, which is a good indicator. See, this is the raw edge, and this is an edge that at the mill they cleaned up, but not super great. But it definitely is straight and square, so I will end up probably using these edges because I really just need a pretty straight edge for the table saw. And then I'll go back and flip it around and run it through the table saw the other way, just to clean up an ever so slight amount. So jointer. Perfect. Now that is cleaned up edge. These are going to be 6 inches, I'm gonna do the legs later. This here are going to be 8 inches. That way there's 2 inches and then 2 inches on the side, and then there's 4 inches in the middle that there's gonna be a 3-inch plug thing, which I think will be plenty of room. So I'm gonna make them 8 inches. And right now the glue line is pretty much in the center. But what I'm gonna do is just take 4 inches from the glue line one way and 4 inches from the glue line the other way. All right, so I have all my pieces. Let's dry fit. Snug and perfect. Basically, that's it. There's really nothing else to it. Obviously, that's upside down. And then this side would go towards the wall. That overlaps the couch. The 2 inches. Which is it, 2 inches? Yep, exactly. What I'm gonna do now is actually sand all of the pieces up to 120 and then assemble it and do my best to clean up any glue squeeze out. That way we don't have to worry about that stuff. For this project, I'm also gonna use pocket holes, which is really no big deal because you won't see any of this underneath anyway. It'll be covered up on the sides. No one likes to see a sanding montage, so I'm going to skip it. Now to the pocket holes. Okay, so what I didn't show you is all the boring stuff. I sanded these tables. I put finish on them. I finished it with Watco's Danish oil in the black walnut because my client wanted it dark. This is what matches their other furniture in their home currently. So I hope you enjoyed this process. I encourage you, if you need a little table thing behind your couch in between the wall just to set a phone or a drink or some popcorn, build one of these. It's super simple and I think you'll really enjoy it. If you have any questions for me, leave a comment below. Don't forget to check out the affiliate links in the description. I'd love for you to like and subscribe to this channel if you like this content that I'm creating. The last thing I'm going to show you is the plug-in grommets that drop into these holes. And as always, thanks for watching.